Hello, my name is Valerie Masiker. I am here because of autistic awareness. I'm going to be interviewing Tyler. Welcome, Tyler.
Thank you.
I'm so glad you're here.
Glad to be here.
So before we begin the interview questions, is there anything that you would like to comment on or initiate or bring up, or would you like to just dive right in?
I'd say we dive right in.
You're okay with that?
Yep.
Okay. So the first question, I will talk about the questions, sorry, and then you can just think about it and ask me anything you need as well. So in light of your spiritual or religious upbringing, how have you gotten to where you are now or today?
Well, my family raised me Christian, non-denominational, and I would say that's helped me, how does one put this? It has helped me see the world through a kinder view, especially with how things are going today. I would say that being raised non-denominational has helped me, what is the word for it? Just see things in a bit of a kinder view than I see some of my friends see the world.
I am really thankful, Tyler, that you've learned about kindness. Yeah, and there are so many out there, quick to judge, quick to bully, quick to cast blame, and I am really thankful that you would share that. So number 2, what heightened sensitivities help you process your life experiences?
Most of my heightened sensitivities can lead me to getting overwhelmed. Wouldn't say they can help. I would say sometimes I'm able to observe things out of pocket, if that makes sense.
Yeah, sure.
Sometimes I can put patterns together that my friends don't see. But in terms of sensitivity, I would say they're mostly blockers. Loud noises can get me distracted, and light touches I can feel for a while after.
Wow. Yeah. Noises, touches. How about lights?
Light hasn't been too much of an issue unless, let's say, I'm driving down the road and someone shines their brights in my eyes and flashes me with them.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure that's for everyone.
Yeah, I think you're right. And what about clothing, foods, sensitivities, sleeping sensitivities? Are those all pretty non-remarkable, or would you share?
My food cannot touch.
Yeah.
And if it does touch, it should be homogeneous.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's say I'm eating a steak and I have mashed potatoes and mac and cheese. Let's say I'm having that fun little trio. The mac and cheese cannot touch the mashed potatoes. The mashed potatoes cannot touch the steak, and the steak can't touch the mac and cheese. And the greases as well cannot mix.
So have you seen the divided plates they have out there?
Yes, I have seen those, but I don't like using them.
Okay.
I just wind up either separating them really far on the dish, or I will use separate dishes.
I like your idea to use separate dishes. That is a good idea.
Yep. Bit of a hassle to clean, but comfort.
Do you mind cleaning?
I don't really mind it. I get distracted from it, and it's also one of those tasks where no one wants to go through and clean everything. So I don't really have a drive to do it, but when I do it, I will see it through.
Nice. Very nice. Anything else in the area, or shall we move forward?
You mentioned clothing.
Yeah.
Generally, if let's say I was wearing let's say I was wearing a helmet, or if I was wearing something heavy, I prefer it, but when I take it off, it feels weird. And I can still sometimes, especially if it's been on for a while, feel its print for a while longer.
Oh, because it's been touching you.
Yep.
Why do you wear helmets?
Well, if you're riding a dirt bike, you don't want to crash and have your head exposed. And when riding a bike, I've crashed a couple times, and my helmet's always been there to keep my noggin nice and intact.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I ride motorcycle with a helmet, and there are very rare occasions where I am like, tonight we're only going 3 miles. I am not wearing my helmet tonight. Shame on me, but I need a break from the helmet. I don't want it touching me. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Not smart. I mean, it is a risk.
Yep.
It is a risk. So number 3, is there anything that you would like the public to know?
Anything I would like the public to know? Well, the main thing I would say I would like the public to know is that every autistic individual is their own individual, from high functioning to low functioning. And from my experience, most of us just want to be treated with respect.
Yes.
Simply, for me, I like to be treated as just another guy. And that tends to work out best for me. I know other people want some extra space, and I also get that if you've ever been at a store that's highly populated, I tend to avoid moving in there until there's room.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things.
I like your ideas. Those are good strategies to make you feel safe.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really cool. Thank you for sharing, Tyler.
Of course.
Can you think of anything else, or is that the main point?
I think that is the main point.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm only 5'2", maybe 3/4. I don't like crowds because I'm so little, and people who are tall have the advantage of being able to see over the crowd and to get the feel for it. And all I'm looking at is, chest height, and
Right.
it's different for me too for different reasons.
Yeah. For me, I don't like the feeling of, I can't describe it, but for you, you'd lose navigation, so.
I do. Oh, thank you for putting words to it. You're right. I lose navigation because I cannot see what is going around me and how the movement is flowing. Yeah, I like that. Thank you.
Of course.
So number 4, can you describe relationships that are valuable to you?
Relationships that are valuable to me. Well, obviously you have your family.
Nice.
Those are important. Those are important, and they are very. When you have a good family, they are a solid rock. Yeah. On top of that, there are my friends. I have one of my best friends. I met him online, and he is the most important person to me.
That's really nice.
We've got to meet IRL for a week before he has to move out and head to Iwo Jima. Or no, I can't remember the name, but it's in Japan. It's a Marine base.
Pretty far.
Yep.
But you could still remain online.
That's the best part. We hang out every day.
Yeah.
Or most every day.
It is amazing what technology has done for the human race, both negatively and positively.
Indeed. I know when I was growing up, they mentioned a lot that a online friendship or relationship in general is just not going to function well, and there's not a lot of trust in those types of things. But I find that was wrong. My best friend, I met him when we were both pretty young, grew up together online, and that's just the kind of bond I formed with him. I call him brother.
Wow. Thank you for sharing. That is the first time I have heard a story like that.
Really?
It really is.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so I was born in the 60s. You look like maybe about 2000.
1999.
Okay, my son was born in 99. Yeah, so I might share that idea with him and hear what he thinks about that.
That'd be great.
He's never shared with me that he has an online friendship, but he might. He just maybe never brought it up.
True. I know you do have to be careful online. As
Okay.
many good people as there are online, there are also a handful of bad people.
Did you have to weed through to find this treasure?
I got lucky. I stumbled into him.
That is really nice.
He was, let's see, I was playing a game known as Halo Reach, and I met this one guy. Uh, he, yeah, met this one guy. He befriended me. Me and him hung out, and then I was hanging out with his friend, and then my buddy joined us, and then that's how he became my buddy. And then over the course of a good couple years and constantly hanging out, we became closer and closer till I called him brother. Wasn't really weeding through it, just stumbled into it.
What's he call you?
He calls me brother as well.
Oh my gosh, that's so precious. Now, do you have a biological brother?
Yes, I do have a biological brother.
And it's totally different?
Completely different relationships. My older brother is 9 years older than me, so there's a bit of a degree of separation between us. We're friendly and on good terms, but we don't hang out much. Not much between us, I guess.
In common, maybe.
Yeah, not much.
I don't mean to put words in your story, but
no, that was
that's
a good way
what.
to put it. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe, you know. So, do you know the age of your brother online? Your online brother?
He is I believe, depending on the month, because birthdays, he is either 2 years younger than me or 3 years younger than me.
Okay. Yeah, that is something that's new with the way the technology goes. I mean, like I was young, maybe in my 20s, when I had a friend to tell me about the first email.
Really?
There's this email out there. There's this AOL email. And I was like, so, you know, what does that mean? I have no concept of what. He was so excited about it. And for you, you've pretty much grown up with it.
Yep, introduced it little by little, and when you do grow up with that stuff, you just kind of clicks.
Yep.
Human
It's
brain
simple.
is
Yeah.
very adaptive.
Yeah, that's so cool. Thank you for sharing about your valuable relationships. That was a really cool conversation.
Thank you.
So if you want to go back to any of them, you can. I'm going to move forward. What are your long-term goals and aspirations?
Long-term goals and aspirations. That's a fun one.
Good.
So this goes actually into what I do with my friends a lot of the time. I like to make games. Right now, I'm in the process of making a game that I play with my friends. I'm trying to learn how to code and make a game digitally, not just a set of rules. And once I get this information down, I want this to be a career of mine. I want to actually be able to make games for people and generally spread enjoyment, for lack of better terms. I want to make people happy. And one way I know to do that, and one thing I'm passionate in, is creation. I like cooking, I like drawing, and I like doing anything that has to do with creating stuff. And making games just seems like the logical conclusion for me.
That's wonderful. Well, I love how you gave a shout out for your desire, because this particular clip could be viewed by viewers, and so however you want it written in the caption, so that you could help me get, what do they call, like logarithms, algorithms
The
for
algorithm.
people, yeah, to find it out there on YouTube. Then we'll work together and see if we can get some viewers to, because I am assuming that your games are digital online.
So right now it's a in-process set of rules. Think of a tabletop game. You've ever heard of Dungeons and Dragons or any of those games? It's kind of like that. It's just a rule set I have on my computer I've been refining over time, mostly using Excel sheets for large chunks of math and simple rules. It will be more and more digital as time goes on, though.
Okay. Not quite yet.
Not
Still
quite yet.
in the grassroots stages.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Just in our grassroots.
Okay. That's beautiful. So number 6, what challenges do you commonly have to work hard at problem solving?
Challenges that I have to work hard at problem solving. I would say whenever I am doing new tasks or new things at my job, in this case, it can be a little overwhelming. For example, when I first got my job, I wasn't like anything I had really done before. Sure, I've done tasks for people before, but I've never been in that environment structured like that, and I was given some unfamiliar tasks. That got me upset and overwhelmed for a bit. I was able to power through it, but it was one of those things where if I'm given unfamiliar tasks, I want to do them correctly and I want to do them well, but it's not within my capability at that moment. So that led to me struggling. Well, once I got used to the struggle, everything became a lot easier. But there's a momentum that has to be gained before I can get used to that kind of environment.
So do you walk away and come back? Do you take a deep breath? Do you ask questions? How, when you face that, I'll call it an obstacle, but you may have a different term. Do you just keep moving forward toward it and pursuing it and trying to work through it, or do you cool off and back up a little bit?
That can depend as to how emotionally aware I am at the time, and that can depend on how I'm doing. How does one put this? Really depends on how I'm doing, my emotional awareness, and what the task itself is. Because sometimes, even if I'm driven to extreme frustration, I will still try to bulldoze my way through the problem.
Yeah.
Other times, I will go, this is an unsolvable issue. I will seek assistance.
Mm. Mm. And you figure out who.
Yep.
Who could help me with this situation? Yeah, that's a good strategy. Mm-hmm.
Yep. I always find a select few individuals. Like at work, I have I believe receptionist is the job title.
Okay.
But I'm not sure of the exact name of her job title. But I report to her, and then she gives me my tasks, and then if I have an issue, I report the issue to her, and then we find a way to solve that task.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you at least have a team player, someone
Yes.
to collaborate with, and yeah. Do you ever go to Google to search out solutions?
Google, in terms of technical solutions, I will go to Google or ChatGPT. You know, the chatbots that have
I
been.
have not been there yet. Do you recommend it?
Yes, I would actually recommend its use for simple task situation, especially some technical issues, like say if you're trying to code or if there's a math equation you're struggling with, it may be of assistance. But the issue with it is sometimes it can be, well, the only appropriate word I have is it can be a little autistic, ironically enough. But it can get a little sidetracked if you don't keep it on task. And sometimes it will completely mistake the word teaspoon with tablespoon. I've been I've been correcting my cooking here and there, figuring out what I can do, and it's been a help at finding how to tweak my recipes. But one time when I needed a teaspoon of yeast, it said add a tablespoon of yeast, and I was like, that doesn't sound right. So you have to keep track of what does sound right and what sounds wrong.
You heard of the 80-20 rule?
What's the 80-20 rule?
So you let the computer do 80%, but you need to supervise and inspect what you expect and fine tune it with that human touch to make sure, like you're saying, you knew that doesn't sound right. So maybe it did this autocorrect on you that you didn't intend for it to do.
Yep.
Yeah, I get it. I completely understand. That's cool stuff. Number 7, you've kind of touched on some of your strengths, but I will directly ask, can you explain to me your greatest strength?
My greatest strength. That would, I think that would be between my ability to create and come up with stuff, stories, games, anything that's in the creative process that I'm commonly doing. And from a more anecdotal point of view, anecdote? No, that's not the right word, but abstract point of view, I could say my ability to make friends is one of my strongest abilities.
Wow.
Because a lot of the friends I do tend to make seem to be pretty good people. Sometimes I have issues finding the right people, but I can get a decent vibe, and then based off that vibe, I figure out how much to invest.
So you have a sensitive heart.
Yes.
And maybe heart, I don't know, it's something inside of humans that can detect evil from good. That's the very extreme. Somebody that I'd be compatible with, somebody that I'm not compatible with. So you have that internal sensitivity.
Yeah.
That's a gift.
A form of empathy that helps out a lot. Online, it does help me figure out when someone gives off bad vibes or not. I notice a lot of my friends have, what's the word here? They have stronger red flag signals than I do, but vibes tend to help me out.
Yeah. That's very important to protect you, keep you safe, steer you in the right direction. Yeah.
Yes. Sometimes I feel like I am rather gullible because if someone's asking for help, I will be more inclined to investigate the situation. Like when I was in Washington, there was some guy asking for help. My immediate response would be, oh, well, they need help moving something. And my friends basically told me, keep your head down, keep moving. I'm like, okay. And reason being is I didn't notice, but there was someone eyeing us up from behind the other guy. And if I was alone, that could have been not so good. Granted, if I'm alone, I am very unlikely to interact with people in a crowded environment like that. But
thank you for sharing that example.
of course.
Yeah, that's real life.
Indeed.
Yeah, you do have to be careful. I no longer pump my own gas. I go with a friend.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So number 8, do you have any triggers that maybe impact your daily functioning?
Triggers that impact my functioning daily. Not daily, but emotional triggers. If something messes with me emotionally, it can drag on for a minute. Something I've been learning to deal with. But emotional triggers are a thing for me. They take me a while to process, and I have an issue with any frustrations reflecting backwards. A lot of people I notice might project frustration outwards. I have a strong issue with not projecting it outwards, but back towards myself, which you would imagine is a very frustrating experience, which leads to a feedback loop. For me, it's a matter of making it a decaying feedback loop.
That's good. It's not good, but it's good that you understand it and can express it. That's
Yes,
what's good about it. I want to thank you for sharing that.
of course.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if you asked my family, I have triggers. Oh yeah.
Me.
Yeah, I get very passionate about things. Hmm.
And I know that feeling with all the things I create and all the stuff I do. Passion is very important.
Yeah. Yeah, zeal. Yeah. Number 9, if you could change something in your life or in the earth, then what would it be and how would you change it? And why?
Well, what level of change are we talking?
Sky's the limit, Tyler. Any level is simple, huge.
Fair enough. This is a question I ponder on occasion, but it's difficult because it's basically saying, hey, if you had one free wish, if I had one free wish, I've contemplated this a lot. For example, I could take away all pain, but pain is here for a reason. I could try and minimize suffering around the world, but again, suffering exists because pain exists. Pain exists for a reason. And if I were to take away suffering, not only do I remove pain, but I remove agency. I remove people's ability to be people. If I change anything in the world for a significant better, there is always going to be a drawback, something that is less. One thing I could change, perhaps get rid of poverty, or perhaps I could feed the world. But again, if I get rid of poverty, that might have another, what's the word here? That might have another strike back somewhere else. If I were to get rid of starvation, well, or if I get rid of a reason for people to starve, like lack of food, one, you could have increased obesity rates, but another issue that you can suffer from is just because the food is there doesn't mean people won't starve. Most, from what I understand, we do produce enough food to feed everyone. It is a logistical issue. It cannot be transported. So I could fix a transportation issue. That I don't see having a particular monkey claw situation going on. Monkey paw, not claw, paw. But you never know. So that boils down to if I can't fundamentally change an issue like that, then I could push for something I would want. For example, space exploration. I would much prefer to see space exploration accelerate. I would like to see us succeed out in that endeavor. I mean, the world, the world is a beautiful place, but so is space. It's a very beautiful place, and that is a part of creation. I feel like that should be sought out and found out. There are many mysteries out there.
Wow. That was an awesome answer. I am so looking forward to hearing that answer again when I listen to the recording. I love moon watching, star watching. I love to learn about the constellations. I love my little app on my phone that tells me the names of the stars. Yet, I keep my feet planted on the earth in my exploration of
Okay.
the universe. And I'm good with that. But there are others who would just like to soar and go beyond the limits of our atmosphere and explore what is beyond the earth. Sounds like you would love to be a part of that.
If given the option, yes, I would love to have the
Wow.
ability to go and see everything. There are few things rooting me here. Obviously, I wouldn't want to leave my family. And then there's my friend, you know, actually, friends, plural.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be the main things rooting me down here. But assuming I can solve those situations, I would gladly, take a trip on a more advanced vessel and explore.
I have really gotten so much out of this time together,
Thank you.
Tyler. The last question talks about you adding any of your thoughts. You can ask me questions. You could make any concluding statements? Anything else that's on your mind before we close today?
All right. What would you say has been the most important takeaway of your study thus far?
In my autism awareness,
Yes.
oh my goodness. So I am learning about neurodivergency inclusion, and rather than trying to do ABA approaches for autistic humans, accept them and include them just the way they are. And I just love that. That is so, so valuable to me. And I've actually been interacting with people with autism, and people say it different ways. Autistic people, people with autism, people with light autism, people with Asperger's. There's different ways that people like it expressed since 1999. And back in those days, they were pretty much all kids. There was no awareness of adults back in that day of adults. And now all those kids from 1999 have grown up, and they are now everywhere. Everywhere I look, I have a conversation. I met your mom, and she's like, oh, yeah, I know somebody who is. I mean, they're coming out of the woodwork. And it's so amazing to me that, so back to the beginning, everyone is human. They're all neurodivergent or neurotypical, neurodivergent, and that we all need to be inclusive, loving, unconditionally loving and caring, and like you said, being kind. So I just thought one of the ways that I could do that this summer is to interview adults who feel like they've got a diagnosis of autism in any degree and get the word out there that they are gifted, they have talents, they're beautiful humans, and they just want to engage the world just as much as anybody. They're just been given this diagnosis, and they view things differently.
Yep.
So that's what I've gotten out of my involvement. I really appreciate you sharing. That was a very insightful question.
Thank you.
I'm looking forward to getting to know you more in the future, and your mom, and it's going to be a really fun journey for all of us.
Agreed.
Any other closing thoughts?
Yes, there is one closing thought that crosses my mind. When it comes to neurodivergence, obviously there's low functioning, there's high functioning, there's everything in between. But one thing I find is diversity of thought is important. It's here and it's with us, but each and every one of us has a ever so slightly different way of thinking. It is something that I find to be quite useful. I was actually listening to a video on my way here, and it was talking about paradigms and how when you think in a paradigm, it is something that, what is the word for it? A paradigm is essentially your worldview. It is something that shapes how you perceive reality itself. For example, the way I see that plant right there is green. Well, green is my own personal paradigm of green. As far as I know, your green's my red, and it's everywhere between your anything that is a subjective part of your reality. And with people with autism, their paradigm is going to obviously be a bit different. And that's important because with different paradigms, we can think differently. We can figure everything out. Especially with people like Einstein, as an example. What he contributed to science, he didn't just iterate on one paradigm of science, he created a whole nother one. And that helped us advance the way we think about a lot of other things.
Have you heard that Elon Musk might be autistic?
Yes, I have heard that.
Yeah, I just recently that came across to my, are they called algorithms? I have trouble with that word.
Algorithm, yep.
Yes, because of my interest in autism, and somebody merged it, and I got some info, and I'm like, okay, cool.
I heard that. Yeah, I heard that a good while back.
Yeah, for me, very fresh.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that as I move forward, it's just going to be amazing. I may share the interview so we can discuss any kind of parameters you want to put around it. So I want to thank you again today, Tyler. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to be here. And if I may,
Yes, sir.
I would like to wish everybody here a wonderful day.
I love it. Let's all have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening.
Bye.
See ya.